Welcome to this next video as we're starting to look forward to praying together over the next couple of weeks for the kingdom to extend, for the church to enter into the next phase that God's got for us, and also as we look forward to a transition of leadership and us moving out into Cheltenham for houses to move and that process really to get going despite the circumstances. And in this video, I just wanted to give us some practical encouragement out of a couple of different areas. The first thing I just wanted to encourage us with is a long time ago, a chap called Mike Madden, one of our prophetic brothers at that time, came to Chipping Norton and brought us a prophetic word. And that prophetic word was, when you pray, you punch above your weight. And the picture's that of a small, lightweight, featherweight boxer who can punch way beyond his weight. He launches heavyweight punches. And that's the picture that was being evoked. And when we pray, it's just like that. And that's always been true. As we've given ourselves to pray as a church, we see disproportionate things happen. When we pray, things shift that otherwise would not. When we pray, we punch above our weight. We think, well, what difference can my prayers make? Well, the reality is that God's hand is moved by prayer, that when we pray, things change. And it's an extraordinary truth. William Cowper said these famous words: Satan trembles when he sees the weakest saint upon their knees. The point being, when we acknowledge that it's our weakness, that we can't do anything in and of our own strength, and we start to turn to God, actually that is a source of enormous power in our lives and a source of the kingdom extending. So as we look to pray, can I just encourage us that actually we will see God's power. It's not about what we do, it's about what he does. And therefore we want to be a praying people, and we want to be people who are praying for the things that God's got for us. So I just wanted to give us that encouragement. The second encouragement I wanted to give was just by way of a bit of testimony. Many years ago, we ran a number of youth weekends for sort of youth that were off at universities. They came back. We'd run weekends. We'd often invite a visiting speaker or some people to bring prophetic input to that gathering. And on one occasion, we invited Bryn Franklin, one of our sort of prophetic brothers from Oxfordshire Community Churches, and Chris and Alison were there. Chris and Alison at that point, not long, sort of moved into the church, was sort of engaged with youth work, and Bryn sort of brought this prophetic word and said, Chris and Alison need to be part of this leadership team and need to be in Chippy. And at that point they were living in Middle Barton, and we wanted to see them move, and they wanted to move. And as time went on, they put their house on the market, and not much happened. Didn't seem to be sort of shifting, didn't seem to be moving. And so Trevor and Pauline and Lottie and myself went over and prayed with them, as I remember, on Friday evenings, I think. And every time we went over and prayed, and every time we fasted alongside that for this house to move, things moved forward. Suddenly a buyer came, suddenly there was an offer, things moved forward. And whenever we stopped doing that, actually the sort of progress slowed. The sale fell through, things slowed down. And actually it was a real lesson to me that when we pray, things change. And eventually we saw Chris and Alison move into Chippy, but it was a battle, and it was something we had to fight. And we have to fight with the weapons that God gives us. And two of those great weapons are prayer and fasting. And as we as we do those things, as we pray and as we fast, we see change coming. We see things released that would otherwise not have been. And so I just wanted to encourage us with those two things, that God's spoken to us about being a church that prays, and that when we pray, things happen. And I just believe that, and if you've been part of this church for a while, you'll be sick of me saying it, but I just firmly believe when we pray, things shift. And we've seen it many times. And there's many testimonies I could tell you of what we've seen as we've prayed. And can I encourage us to be praying in faith? Because as we pray, we will see things shift and change. And secondly, moving houses, particularly where leadership's involved, is a battle. It's not simply a practical task. It's got a spiritual dimension. The enemy don't want to see the kingdom advance. And so it's opposed. But as we pray and as we fast, we're going to see houses sold, buyers arrive, and we'll start to see things moving. And we just really want to see John and Kath move into Chippy and be here with us. So we need to pray. And just want to encourage us with those couple of things as we look forward to the next couple of weeks of focused prayer together. God bless. Bye-bye.